What up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Do you like old school practical effects? Do you like gooey schlockfests filled with blood and guts? Maybe just like discovering good body horror that you might not know about. Well, if you do, be sure to slam that like button. Please subscribe to my channel and check this out.
Is a new vaccine. It's called Alpha 21. Unlike earlier versions, it doesn't have any side effects.
And it's safe?
So they say. He just exploded.
Who exploded? What are you talking about?
And with the death toll now reaching nearly 500,000, the FDA is urging all citizens to wear safety masks if going outside, and strongly suggesting those who have not received the vaccine to do so.
I don't think Mr. Farragut's going to be needing his booster shot scheduled. It's looking like we have a spree killer on the loose. He's using some kind of acid and burning people with it. Why is this happening?
Side effects may vary. Now, with the world gripped by a deadly pandemic, science denier Glenn Rollins turned to an experimental vaccine as treatment for a lingering sickness. Now, much to the surprise of his doctor, his wife, and his friends, the remedy immediately fixes what ails him. But Glenn will soon discover that the only thing more fatal than the virus is the cure. Now, the movie I am talking about is none other than Side Effects May Vary. Look at that cover art. Look at that badass cover art with that green ooze serum and the guy in the mask. The only thing worse, more fatal than the virus is the cure. So super cool art on that one. I'm going to get to that in just a second. But yeah, the movie is called Side Effects May Vary. Now, I absolutely loved it. It's super badass. It represents everything I love about horror and more specifically body horror. So let me kind of talk to you about the artwork here because as I mentioned just a minute ago, this is what originally drew me into the movie, right? I mean, take a look at that. How badass is that art? And it's hard to really see on camera, but it's embossed. The Side Effects May Vary on the bottle is embossed. It is gorgeous. Okay, one of my favorite slips in a while. And I actually have a signed copy. I'm going to talk about the signatures in just a moment and who signed this because I love everyone that was involved in this project. Another reason that drew me to this movie. But yeah, so you got a slip cover there, and you got the same art on the the insert art. And then you've got some more imaging on the back, which is cool on the inside. But you got the same disc art. You got James Edwards right there. Sorry, right there. So, yeah, I mean, aesthetically, this movie is very pleasing and originally what drew me to the film to begin with. But there's so much that I love about this film, including who is involved with it. So right off the bat, I need to just give a shout out. Let me just get this in here. There we go. I need to just give a shout out to my girl, my absolute favorite scream queen, Brink Stevens, because she is in this one and she plays this gnarly, like sexually deviant elderly neighbor next door who kind of uses her toys, if you will, in many different ways, not just for her pleasure and on herself. And I'll leave it at that. Brink fucking rules in this movie. And I just love seeing her do her thing, you know, at this stage of her life, because I've been a fan of her for so long. She's like my absolute favorite scream queen. So to see her in this movie, like still playing that same role, unhindered, I just love it. Brink, shout out to you. She's fantastic in this movie. I'm excited for you guys to check it out. But yeah, so the artwork, man, it really encapsulates everything I love about the movie. Brink Stevens is in this. She's kind of like a side character, but she's still pretty prevalent in the movie. She has a decent role. But this thing was directed by J.R. Bookwalter, and he actually signed it on the back as well, who actually did a movie called The Dead Next Door, which is, to be honest with you, like one of my favorite low budget horror movies. I have the DVD, which I have multiple copies of this. If anybody's actually interested in seeing this one, hit me up. I have multiple copies. And so, yeah, he did this movie called The Dead Next Door, which is unbelievably good and twisted in so many ways, the best ways, really. And of course, you know, in The Dead Next Door, there's like his trademark practical gory effects. Dead Next Door is fantastic. So he was involved in this one. He directed it. So I knew because of that, I really wanted to see it as well. But it was also written and it starred the amazing James Edwards, who signed the back as well. Now, James Edwards was also an actor in a movie that I just spoke about. I just did a review on called Bloodletting, and I did that a few days ago. So definitely go and check that review out as well. But another awesome low budget horror movie. And so I loved him in that. I loved him in this. He wrote both movies, I believe. But yeah, so both of them signed them. And now I know there was a Kickstarter campaign for this film. I did not know about it at that time, but I did happen to snag the slipcover, which is super cool. That was signed. I'm pretty sure that was a perk. But yeah, so Brink had a role in this. And again, so like the basic premise is a middle-aged dude played by James Edwards. His name is Glenn. He's kind of just coasting through life. Things are pretty dull for him and his wife at this stage, but he gets sick, right? And his wife begs and pleads for him to get it's actually the COVID vaccine. It's during the pandemic. And he doesn't want to get it, but she begs him. She's like, please, for me. And he eventually obliges to her request, and he goes to get the vaccine. But when he gets to the doctor, she tells him that they only have limited supplies, and unfortunately, she can't give him the vaccine. They don't have enough at that time. So he begs her, is there anything she can do? And she says there is an experimental vaccine that was just approved that can be given to patients that even have COVID at the moment. And so I think they call it like AR-21 or something. You saw it in that snippet before. It's like this dark green ooze almost. And I like the fact that they use like a dark green aesthetic rather than like a fluorescent neon green, like a Reanimator type vibe, because it gives it a little bit of a different flavor. You don't have that tropey neon green. So yeah, she gives him the shot. It's this dark green liquid, and it goes into the back of his neck, which is he's a little skeptical of when it happens. But his character Glenn, right, he gets the vaccine and he starts to feel not only better but like amazing. And so he kind of goes through the motions, and then slowly things start happening around him. And things get super mega goopy, super oozy, super gory, and things kind of explode in a sex scene that I'm not going to tell you about, but that is like the scene when things start to twist and turn and unravel, and it is awesome. Okay, it is so cool. I love how they did that. And so yeah, before long, things just start unraveling. Things go off the hook. Limbs start falling off. There's melted sexual organs, intestines being ripped apart. It's as fantastic as you can possibly imagine. Now, when it comes to body horror, these aren't things you see often these days, especially with practical effects. Things like Together that came out in The Substance. We're seeing a little bit of a surge in modern body horror, but not to the level where you have these practical effects and low budget styles like we did back in the tape store. So movies like this really hit home for me. Okay, so it's also worth noting that within the first 30 seconds of this movie, someone literally explodes, and it's awesome. I knew from the moment I started this thing that I was going to love it. I did. I absolutely adored it. I think this thing is fantastic. I think you guys will enjoy it on so many levels, right? Like I said, if you like low budget horror, if you like practical effects, even if you're a fan of the 80s, like you will definitely vibe with this. All right, it was awesome. But let me show you guys how you can watch this, because there's a number of different ways, and a company called Makeflix is where you can purchase it. Now, I will say this about the movie. There's a number of different ways, and let me just share my screen and show you. So let's head over to makeflix.com. Now, I've been pushing this site to the moon, right? I picked up a lot from them recently because they're definitely my vibe. So head over to makeflix.com, and I urge you to check out their whole discography, because there's stuff from Mad Angel Films who I really like. A lot of old 80s classics and 90s classics on Blu-ray, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, Jacko, a lot of really great titles that they actually do Blu-rays for. But if you're looking at this movie specifically, just go into the search bar, type in Side Effects May Vary, and it'll pop up right away. And then there's a number of different ways to own this. Now, I kind of wish I did something else, but it's okay. So first of all, you're going to notice the Blu-ray right off the bat, and I think the DVD is actually on sale. So if you go check it out, you've got the DVD for $14.99. Okay, if that's your thing, go for it. I love DVDs, so maybe that's your vibe. Then you have the Blu-ray for $19.99. Then you've got the Blu-ray with that signed slipcover for $24.99, which is what I opted for. I think it was actually cheaper when I got it a couple of weeks ago. Note that there is only 3 left. I don't know if that's going to stick. I know typically they restock things here because they just restocked a bunch of things. I don't know how often or quickly, but especially with signed slipcovers, I don't know. But you pick your poison, choose what you want to get. Now, there is one other way to own this, which I kind of wish I did at first. I'm super happy with the Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. I think it's a 2K scan. But regardless, there was a really cool other option here with this movie that is very my vibe. And I'm still thinking about getting it just because I think it's so badass. But let me show you guys. So they did a clamshell of this baby, and there's only 2 left. And I really want it just because I think it's such a badass looking piece of art. You get the kind of syringe pen also, but $40 is expensive for a movie I already own. It just doesn't really pay to get it. So I don't think I'm going to do it, but I have another future video clamshell release from Mad Angel Films. I have Graveyard Shark in a similar edition. So it would be pretty badass to have another one on my shelf. But again, I have the Blu-ray. There's no real point in getting it other than the aesthetic. And I just, I don't really want to do that. That's not really what I'm all about these days. Certain movies I will double and triple dip, but this one I absolutely love, but I don't need a VHS and a Blu-ray if it's $40. It's just a lot. So anyway, so side effects may vary. You might want to grab the clamshell, and I will be supremely jealous. But there's a number of different ways to own it. So go check it out, see what your vibe is, and grab whichever one you want to. Now, I'm guessing there will be even further sales on Black Friday, etc. I don't know how this site works as far as Black Friday sales are concerned. But I'm sure there'll be some kind of a discount. So, yeah, head over to Makeflix and definitely check it out. But there you have it, guys. The movie is called Side Effects May Vary. Now, it's kind of hard to see on here, but there's like embossing on the bottle on the Side Effects May Vary. It is gorgeous in person, like a really, really, really gorgeous slip. So, yeah, man, I strongly recommend you guys check this thing out. I had a blast with it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
One of my favorite recent watches that I watched. So hit me up in the comments. Go give me a follow on Instagram at Miles of Horror, and let me know if you've either seen this or you're interested in seeing it. This one was a blast, man. Side effects may vary. JR Bookwalter, James Edwards, go check it out. Your boy Miles out. Peace.